What is up guys, welcome back today to another video on this channel. In this video, we're going to be going over Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. It is the autobiography of the creator of Nike, one of the biggest sports brands in the world, which I have is the Young Readers Edition. So let's dive right into it. Before we jump into the video, it takes a long time to make these videos and come up with scripts for these videos. So if you could take 2 seconds out of your time to drop a subscription, thank you so much for doing that, and let's jump into this video. So right here with me I have Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, the Young Readers Edition. So as you can see, it has the logo up front. So the copy which I have is the hardcovers copy, and it has this sort of a cover on top of it, so it has this really smooth feel to it. At the back of the book there's also another logo of Nike. Here's the author's name and a tagline, a memoir by the creator of Nike. The quality of pages in this book is absolutely amazing. There's a total of 273 pages in this book, including the epilogue. The chapters in this book are based on years in the life of Phil Knight. So like I mentioned, here's the logo, and there's a story to this logo which we will get to later on in this video. This is a gripping tale of taking calculated risks, and it is value for money. I also will term this book as a must-read for all young adults. If you don't know who Phil Knight is the co-founder of Nike, as I mentioned, one of the biggest sports brands in the world. But it didn't come easy to Phil Knight. Phil Knight had to create a company just to get a good deal. He did not actually have an American distributing store, but still, on his trip to Japan, on his trip to Onitsuka Sports, he informed them that he has a US distributing shop known as Blue Ribbon, and he was going to become the United States of America distributors for the Onitsuka shoes. This is a truly inspiring story of rags to riches, so let's jump right into the important factors of this book. The first thing which I really loved in this book, and the first point of importance, is fear always comes with risks. Just push through. Every time Phil Knight took risks in this book, and let me just tell you, there were plenty of them. He took plenty of risks and made up plenty of things on the spot just so that things would go his way. Of course, he was scared. Fear will always come with risks. You need to push through and just keep your aim clear. Just keep in mind what you want to achieve. And that will not come easy. It'll come with lots and lots of risks, and with those risks comes lots and lots of fear. You just have to try your best to push through. The second point of importance is you do not need to have a set plan to succeed. I'll repeat that. You do not need a set plan to succeed. You just need an obsessive willingness to achieve something in your life. You just need a willingness. Phil Knight had no intention of ever opening such a big, massive store. He never had any intention or idea about what he was doing. Still, he made up plans on the spot along the way. Still, he managed to work his way and make up things along the way just to succeed in his life. Success doesn't come easy, mind you, but it is not necessary to have a set plan and perfect steps to achieve your goal. You can achieve your goal and succeed in life without having a perfect set plan to follow. I'll give you an example. In this book, Phil Knight did not know how to work with companies. He did not know how to work with banks. And he especially hated selling. He found it boring and unintriguing, but still he pushed through and always found a way to make things go his way. And yes, you heard me right. He hated selling shoes. He hated being a distributor. He hated the selling process. He was thrilled with everything else, with all the deals he was making, but he hated the selling process. Still, he found a way to make things work. So you do not need a perfect set plan to follow to achieve success in your life. Many people talk about where to start and how to start. The first hurdle in your life is just to start. Once you've started, that's when half the battle is already won. You do not need a where to start, you do not need a when to start or a how to start. Just start and half the battle has been won. Next, third most important point in this book is you're going through bad times. Well, just keep going. If you're going through bad times, I'll repeat, just keep going. When you're on your path to success, you will come across millions of small challenges and lots of huge challenges. When it feels like you're going through hell, just keep going. In this book, when you're reading, it just looks like Phil Knight is hanging onto his success by his one finger. But he still manages to pull through, and just when you think he is never going to come back from this, and as you know, he now has one of the biggest sport brands in the world, you know he had done something at that decision point in his life. And yes, he pulled back and still managed to achieve success. Now, if you want to know the story behind the name of the company, Nike, and the logo, let's talk about that. They had considered a number of names before the name Nike. And they had been discussing names for a very long time. Yet Nike was one of the newest and latest names suggested by one of their friends who had just had a dream the previous night. He had a dream about the goddess of victory, the Greek goddess of victory, who is Nike. He decided to name his company Nike since he was in a rush and he really wanted to complete a certain deal which he was going to make, and he just wanted to have a company name. Since Onitsuka Sports had pulled out of their agreement with him, he was no longer Blue Ribbon Sports. So he needed a new name, and Nike was something that he just grabbed because it sounded somewhat appealing to him, and everyone else around him agreed to it. His particular lines in this book are, "Maybe I will grow into it." Quote, "Maybe I will grow into it." That clearly shows he didn't like the name of the company when he first heard it, but still he thought it would grow onto him, and certainly we don't know if it grew onto him, but it definitely grew to be one of the biggest brands in the world. Now, talking about the logo, he had grabbed one logo designer from one nearby college and asked her to make a logo for his company. After lots of testing, he wanted something that depicts speed, something that depicts rushing. So she came up with many flashy lightning bolt designs, and slowly her designs kept getting better until you get the famous logo of Nike. Again, it was something that no one in his team liked, but they were still in a hurry, so decided to go for that. And they all said, maybe it'll grow for them. Quote, "Maybe it'll grow on them." And certainly, it must have, since it's now a huge brand. Now, one main question which is asked to me when I recommend this book to other people is, how do we use this in our daily lives? And obviously, reading a book takes time to read. So how are you going to transform that time into pure value? Here's how. This book tells you and gives you the strength to just have willingness and keep moving forward. I'll repeat, it gives you the strength to just have willingness and keep moving forward. Success doesn't come easy. You'll have to take many risks in your road to success. And fear comes with those risks. Overcome that fear, overcome all hurdles, just be willing to achieve your goal. And the main point which you can take away from this book is you can achieve your goal even if you don't have a plan. Just have the strength, have the willingness, even if you don't have a plan. Try your best to do as much as you can to achieve your goal. On that wonderful note, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you show your support by hitting on the like button down below, and maybe even subscribe while you're at it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'm gonna see you guys next time, or probably in a previous video which you still haven't watched. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.